Hello, how are you? Hello, I want to welcome you to the course English for Business. This is for level intermediate, and today we're going to see session 6. Session 6. This is choosing the best supplier. So we're going to learn how to use supplier, how to choose a supplier. This is part of Unit 2, that is the suppliers, and your teacher Liliana Quipuzco. So first we're going to see the course considerations. Now, you must speak English during the entire conference. In this case, if you are not able to speak, or in this case, write in English, you can do it in Spanish, but do your best to do it in English. Second, you can ask questions during the course of the conference. This will be great if you can ask questions so I can answer them. I will try to make some pauses to do the answering. Third, I would really appreciate if you can share anecdotes, problems, or experiences that you have right now that are related to the subject that we're going to see today, so we can help you. And finally, at the end of this session, I will give you a link to an exam with multiple choice questions with four alternatives. Remember that this link that I'm going to give you, you will need to write in your personal information, your name, your email, and also you're going to find not only questions from today's session, but also you're going to find some questions to let us know how today's class was. Okay, so we said that today is session 6 and we're going to see choosing the best supplier. So a supplier, what is a supplier? As usually, we're going to look it up on the dictionary. So in this case, as always, we use Cambridge Dictionary and Oxford Dictionary. A supplier, according to Cambridge Dictionary, is a company or a person or some other kind of organization then that provide things that people want or need, especially over a long period of time. So in this case, a supplier, according to Cambridge Dictionary, means that it is a person or a company or any other kind of organization that is going to provide, to maybe sell some products or services that another person or company needs, but for a long time. So this means that this person that is going to sell and this person that is going to buy, or maybe it could be free also. So this person that is going to send and the person that is going to receive are going to have a bond. So this interaction is going to be for a long period of time. So not just only in the present, but we're talking about the future. Now, according to Oxford Dictionary, a supplier could be a person or an organization that provides something needed, such a product or service. So again, it's a little sim a more simple meaning. Um, in this case, just a person or organization that could be a company that is going to provide something that another company or person needs, and it could be a product or service. Now, what we could, if we mix these meanings, we can find something interesting. First, Cambridge, Cambridge talks about long period of time. So we're not talking about just buying something for one time. So if we're talking about a supplier, it means that we will need or we will want to have more closer relation to the provider in this case. So with just not buy for one time, but in this case, we will talk about doing some business for a long time. Can you hear me better now? Let me check. Now, can you hear me better? I think it's better, right? Okay. Now, okay, perfect. So, the second word that is really important in this case is the word provide. You can find it in here and you can find it here. So why provide and we're not talking about sell? Because provide could mean that we are selling or buying, in this case that we are paying for the product, and also we could talk about receiving a product for free. If we're talking about an import company, we could talk about provide if we are going to buy to an exporter company a lot of products, and we could talk also about our supplier and not in this case buy, but to get something for free. For example, if we are going to get a sample, so if we're getting a sample, this sample will be for free. So in this case, wouldn't be buying, would be providing, and the person that is going to send it to us will be our supplier. So that's why they don't use the word sell or buy in this case. Just provide. Okay? Now, now, where can I find suppliers? For example, if I am in Peru, I could the suppliers that I could find could be a manufacturer. So who can be a supplier? In this case, a supplier can be a manufacturer. A manufacturer is the person that is going to make the products, who is going to do the products, who is going to get the raw material, is going to process it, and is going to sell a finished product. So another kind of supplier that we can find is an authorized dealer. An authorized dealer is a dealer that its own name say it, but it is authorized by the manufacturer to sell to us. We can find authorized dealers in the country of destiny. In this case, we could find Peruvian authorized dealers, but we could also find, in this case, authorized dealers in the country of origin or in another country. So, dealers that are from abroad. What I would recommend to you is when you try to buy a product, you go to the safest way, that is the manufacturer. If you go to the manufacturer and he says that he's not allowed to sell to you because maybe you want a really small amount of products, or maybe he just doesn't sell, he just distributors, or in this case, authorized dealers, he's going to send you to the closest one, in this case, to your location. So maybe he will say to you, hey, I cannot sell to you, but I have a Peruvian authorized dealer. So he's going to give you all his information. In this case, what I will recommend is not only get the approval from the manufacturer to buy from the Peruvian authorized dealer, also ask him from authorized dealer outside Peru. Why? Because usually authorized dealers tend to sell to a higher price. So in this case, if we just go to an authorized dealer, he could be selling the product twice the price that you can find it abroad. So always ask not only for a Peruvian but also for authorized dealers from abroad. Okay, this I can say to you from experience because um, we we could talk about in this case gears from mine mine machines, in this case machines that are going to be used on the mines. So in this case we will get to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer said that he was not allowed to sell to us. We had to go to the authorized dealer, and the authorized dealer, let's say for example, he would sell to us the product that we needed at $600, but when we went back to the manufacturer and asked for a permission, for an approval to buy from an authorized dealer outside Peru. He said that it was okay if we could find one. Um, we looked for one in the United States, for example, an authorized dealer of the manufacturer, but in the United States, and the price that this company from the United States gave us was less than half the price. So it was less than $300. So after we add all the logistical charges, all the charges that we needed to add to the price in order to get the product from the United States to Peru, we were less than $600. We were less than $500. So it was a lot less than what the Peruvian authorized dealers were selling to us. You see? So this is an example of not only use the Peruvian authorized dealers, but also ask for authorized dealers abroad. Now, also, you can find suppliers, online suppliers. In this case, we're talking about Amazon, Alibaba, AliExpress, and eBay. You might know them. What I, what I could say about them is eBay has good products. They have products from a lot of countries, especially Asian countries. But what I don't like is that they don't give that. Let's say they give you a warranty time for you to get back your money, and they use PayPal. That is a very safe way of buying, but they give you for little time. It used to be 30 to 45 days, and if we are using, in this case, Salesforce, we're not going to get the product in that range of time. We're going to get it in 60 or 90 days or maybe longer. For example, I bought some clothes on Father's Day and I got them on December, so it was almost 6 months. So in this case, eBay, after the warranty time, they don't have the option of extending, and the suppliers are like very hard on that part. So I would, I haven't had that good experiences with eBay, so I wouldn't recommend you from my experience. Now, on the other hand, AliExpress is a really good web page. It has a good app for your cell phone. It is very simple. They have good suppliers and also bad suppliers, as every online service market, let's say. So it is just a matter of finding a good supplier. Remember that they also have a warranty time for you, for your money. You don't use PayPal in AliExpress, you're going to use Alipay, that is their own payment service, and but it is pretty good. I haven't had any problems with the credit card or debit card information that I gave to them. They always just took the money that they were going to charge, and when I had any kind of problems, I opened a dispute, and in this dispute, the supplier will give me back my money, and if they didn't answer in a couple of days, AliExpress would get involved in the dispute, and AliExpress would make the supplier give me back my money if I didn't receive the product in the time that they specify. Now, this warranty time, the good quality about AliExpress is that they let the supplier extend the warranty. For example, so if the supplier gives you 60 days of warranty time, and it is almost 50, let's say it is 55 days and I haven't received the product yet, what I could do is write the supplier a message via the AliExpress app or web page, and the supplier uh, be will will be allowed to extend the warranty, let's say for 30 more days or 50 more days. So that is a good part of AliExpress. Remember that AliExpress is for buying in small quantities. So let's say if we're just going to buy 10 units or less than 20 units, okay? It will depend on the seller, but it is for small quantities, for retailer, let's say. Now, on the other hand, we have Alibaba. Alibaba is from the same group. You can say it's from the same group, Ali Group. Alibaba, AliExpress is the same, but the difference is the same group. But the difference between Alibaba and AliExpress is that Alibaba is for large quantities. In this case, we're talking about book. We're talking about lots. So it would say we would talk about not buying one unit. We could be talking about buying 10 units, 100 units, 1,000 units at a very small price because it's going to be a bulk price. So it has the same method of working. You will buy. It is kind of using the same system. In this case, they also have an app. You can use it via the web page. You will pay via Alipay, and it has the same. You will have a warranty. You can extend the warranty, and also in this case, the supplier. You can talk directly to the supplier via message. Okay, and now the other option is Amazon. You can know, maybe you know Amazon. It is also a web page, and they have also an app where you can buy from other sellers. Um, Not only new products but also used products at a very good price. They usually use couriers in this case for sending to Peru. You can use DHL, you can use FedEx, you can use UPS. Remember that these couriers that they are going to charge us a little. It is more expensive. Why? Because they are private companies. They give a very fast shipping. On the other hand, if we're talking about Alibaba, AliExpress, or eBay, we could use Surpost. It is going to take a lot longer, but it's going to be cheaper in this case. It could be also free. Uh, we have an option of using Surpost and paying a little higher price, almost kind of the price of a courier, maybe a little less. That it is the EMS, that it is the Express Mail Service, and this is via Surpost. They will give you a track number and you will be able to see when your product is going to get. Usually is from 10 to 15 days depending on where it comes from. For example, let's say from Asian countries, let's say from Japan, it takes about 15 days an EMS. On the other hand, from Amazon, if we're talking about the United States, it could also take like 2 weeks. So it's just a matter of see our options, get the prices, and compare. Now, what are the main points that I should be careful with when finding a supplier? In this case, for finding a supplier, I should be careful with the credit and debit card information. My credit and debit card. Always be careful. Don't give, don't put your information online. Don't give your information in this case via a message or send a picture. Be really careful with this information. If we are buying from Amazon and from Alibaba or AliExpress or eBay, in this case, our card information we can pay through PayPal. That is really safe. And for the Ali Group products, you will be paying from through Alipay. That is very safe. What if we're talking about a manufacturer or maybe an authorized dealer abroad? Never send a credit card or a debit card picture or all the information because they can scam you and they can buy with the information you gave them. So if you're going to do business with a manufacturer or an authorized dealer, try to use always a bank as an intermediary. Okay? So try to pay via bank. Use a bank always with them. Now, if we're talking about the rating, we would use this in eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, and Alibaba. In this case, if you're going to buy via online, below the product, we are going to see the rating. So usually it's in stars. So if we see that they have 1 star, this means 1 star, it means that the product was not good, or maybe the supplier was not he was not real with the information he gave on the page of the product that he was selling. Okay, if in the other hand, if he has 5 stars, it means that he is a really good seller. He sent the product really fast, the product was of a good quality. So let's check those points. Then we can talk about the comments. In these comments, if we're talking about online tools, we can search them on the bottom of the page on AliExpress, Alibaba, eBay, and also Amazon. But if we're talking about a manufacturer or an authorized dealer, in this case, we will not find comments on a web page, but what we can find is references from other clients, previous clients that can say to us that yes, he was good, but no, he was not. For example, um, the past year I went to a fair and we get in touch with a Chinese supplier of a machine. We didn't knew any kind of previous clients of him, so he was kind enough to take us to his client. We were able to see how the machine worked, and also we were able to talk to this client, and the client gave us a really good references about this Chinese supplier. So that would be kind of an example of how to get references for people, or in this case, companies that we're meeting maybe face to face. That it would be a manufacturer or an authorized dealer. And finally, we could talk about pictures. In this case, if we're talking about pictures, it means to look at the pictures on the comments. Let's say we can find it on Alibaba, on Amazon, and AliExpress to get to be sure that the product that they're offering us is the product that we are seeing on the sale pictures, because we see, as you can see here, a really nice dress, but once the dress gets to your house is not the same. It is not the same quality, it is not the same material. So we have to check this, and we can do that by checking on the pictures on the comments, and also asking the supplier for a real picture. If we're talking about manufacturers and authorized dealers, maybe we are not going to be able to find pictures on the internet, real pictures, but what we could do is ask them, ask the supplier, in this case the manufacturer or the authorized dealer, to send to us real pictures of the product. Okay, so in that case, we will make sure that the product we're going to get is of a good quality and looks good. Then, where can I find a supplier? I know which organization, which company can be a supplier. I know in this case it was this. I know now which should I be careful with, but where? Where is the place that I can find a supplier? So you can find it online, you can check on Google, you can check on AliExpress, Alibaba, Amazon, and eBay. You can also find a supplier at a fair. In this case, fairs as trade shows. Let's say, for example, if we're talking about a road, we could say that the most um, the most important fairs in Asia could be the Canton Fair and the Beijing Fair, let's say. But we can also find some fairs in here in Peru. Let's say we have Expo Alimentaria. Also, we have also Expo Mina. Those are some kind of fairs that are related, in this case, one for mine and the other one for food. But there are a lot of other fairs that are related to another kind of businesses that are here in Peru. So we just have to find them, look at the date, and just buy a ticket or just go, because most of them, if you have a company, you can ask for a free ticket. We will see a little bit a little more about first on our next session. Then, if we are talking about where I could find supplier, we can also get references. So in this case, if I sell computers and my friend also sells computers and I'm interested in imported computers and this friend already imports computers, what I could do is talk to this friend and ask him for references, ask him for a supplier. Or maybe I could just go to not just my friend, but maybe I could go to the places where I know that people import products and I could just check on the boxes and try to find the brands so I can check the suppliers. And finally, another option of places where I could find is to travel. If I know that I want to import, let's say, cell phone cases from China, a good option would be for me to travel to China in order to see there who are the suppliers and talk to them. That will be the best way of doing it. Remember that there are also, especially chambers of commerce and organizations like Alex, they make missions, commercial missions. They are called in Spanish would be misiones comerciales. So in this case, they create a group of people interested in buying products, let's say from China, and they together travel to China and they find uh, the suppliers for the products that they want to import. In this case, the organization, there will be ADEX or a Chamber of Commerce, will be in charge of doing all the arrangements for the traveling, the transport, the in this case you will need a translator. It obviously is going to cost you money, you're going to pay, but it would be a really really nice way of meeting your potential supplier face to face, know the place where he works and know the and see the product, how the product is in real life. So that would be good. Remember that these are not the only options of finding suppliers. There must be and there are other options, but these are the most important ones. Now, what happens if I already have a product on mind? Let's say I went to Saga and I find this keyboard that is from a laptop, but I just need the keyboard because I want to sell just the keyboard as an accessory, as a replacement. So what I could find is on the back of the product or on the back of the box, I am going to find this kind of sticker that is going to have all the information. In this case, we could find the part number, the model, the series, or maybe other information. Let's say says the characteristics of the product, according layout, warranty, and the brand. So if I already have this product on mind, I could find the specifications of the product, the characteristics of the product, and also check the SDF, the safety data sheet, or it used to be the material safety data sheet, which is a document that is going to contain the information of potential hazards, let's say to people's health, to transport, to take protective measures, and those kinds of informations in order to be safe and take precautions for handling and storing. These are especially for people for products that are dangerous. So if your product is not dangerous, so in this case the keyboard is not dangerous, you wouldn't have to find the material safety data sheet. So you will need just only the check, the part number, the model, the series, the brand in this case. So if I have already this product on mind that I want and I know where it is, I just could go to the place, turn it back and see this sticker, or turn back on the box and see this sticker and just write the information of the product that I'm interested in. That way I will be able to find it. And this is how what we're going to do now. We're going to find the product. So I'm going to share with you my web page. Give me a moment. Okay, so we were saying that the product that we want was the laptop keyboard, right? So in this case, it was an HP keyboard. Remember that is an accessory. In this case, it's a replacement. And the part number was 535549 dash 001. So this is the part number, this is the product, and this is the brand. So after I put this information on Google, I'm going to check, I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to have this information. If I don't know who can be a supplier of this product, I need to get it from scratch. The easiest way to find a supplier is just to go to Google. That's the easiest way. If I don't have any kind of references from another importer, or maybe if I don't have the tools of, or I don't have the knowledge or the access to any kind of, let's say, data tool like ADEX Data Trade or Pentatransaction or Trade or any other kind of tools. Okay, so in this case, we put the product name, the brand, and the part number. So if we go a little, we scroll down a little, we're going to find that Amazon sells it. There's another Amazon seller. We have an eBay seller. We have from Mercado Libre, but in this case it is from Colombia. We have Best Buy from Canada. Best Buy is a, let's say, um, a store specialized on technology in this case. And we have some other web pages where we could find it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the most common ones. So in this case will be Amazon, and we're going to open it, and this one in Amazon. And we're going to check this one on eBay. Okay. So we open those, and we're going to wait for them to load. And now I could find here a code, the product that it is new, and it is a replacement. And I have in here the price. So what I'm going to go is check all the information. Then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to see in here for the reviews. So I have more information in here where you can see about the product. And if I continue to scroll down, I'm going to see that there are no questions and answers on the post, so no one asked a question. And an important, very important information in here is that this post doesn't have any reviews. So I don't have anything to be for sure that this product is good. Okay, so this seller sells this product for previous to another person, and they gave a good review because they don't have any reviews. So it would be like this point to be to say to ourselves, maybe I should find another seller. Now, another very important point when we are buying from abroad is to check if they can send it to Peru. And here we can see that this was $30.58, but this does not ship to Peru. So he asked for us to check for another sellers. So we're going to go to the next page. Now this is another seller that is selling the same product for $9.95. That is a third of the other price. And again, it is the same product. It's in another color, but it has the same phone number. In here, they have some typical questions, and they have one review. So in this case, one person says that it was a great review and a great price. He didn't put a picture, but if he wanted to put a picture, it would appear here. So he says that it worked great. So that is a good point. And now we're going to check if we can send it here. So unfortunately, this product does not ship to Peru. So in this case, we will have to pass on it. And we will go to the next one. So now we are in eBay. We have the information, we have the part number, all the information is the same, but we don't have any kind of extra information. So in here it says that it is that they don't have any more stock. So it means that we don't have a supplier. So what we do after this, it means that we are not allowed, or we're not able to find a supplier from Amazon or from eBay. So the next option will be to find a supplier in here from Peru. So in this case will be, let's say, let's go to straight to Hewlett and Packard, or what we could do here also to find a supplier from abroad is to go directly to the company. So in this case will be Hewlett and Packard web page. We could go to Hewlett and Packard, in this case Latin America, or we could go to Hewlett and Packard from the United States. Usually, when we're talking about a very big company, they usually have they usually have an authorized dealer in Peru. So it is more likely that if we will want to buy from them, they will ask us to go to the authorized dealer in Peru. In this case, we could see here that they do not have a chat sale available, but they do have an email sale. So we're going to check on that. And we're going to check in here for a partner. So the other option would be to put in here all of our information, our name, our last name, our address, the company phone, the country, our telephone number, what are we interested in, what is our time, the lead of time that we want the product here. And in here we can put the product. We can write the product, and we in here could also say that we don't want a Peruvian supplier, but we are looking for a supplier maybe on the United States. So if they are able to give us a supplier or an authorized dealer in the United States, and also another one in Peru, that would be great because we could ask for a quote to both of them and check if it could be a little more profitable to buy from outside, from abroad. Okay, so then we can say yes, that we want to receive email, that or we want them to call us, and just click on send and wait. Now the other option is to go in here and to find a partner. In this case, we could say a replacement part partners. We can check on Peru. But if we don't want from Peru because we already know who they are, we can check from the United States. And we can check in here all the information. We have some business partners in here, some business partners, some companies that are authorized dealers for replacement parts. In this case, we were talking about a keyboard that was a replacement part. So we can just click on them, on one of them, let's say in here. We have this one that is Depot International Enterprise, and we can visit their website. We have in here their phone number to call them. We have the address that is in Texas. He sells replacement parts, and we can just go to the main web page and contact them. So we can just go to the bottom and put on contact. After we do this, we can put all the information on the contact form and ask them for information on the product that we want. That we are in Peru, but we will want them to sell to us, and we will get in charge of all the shipping, international shipping. Especially if you have already a freight forwarder agency and custom broker, in this case a company that offers an integral logistical service, it will be better because we would talk to them in order for them to give us the service of receiving the product in the United States. So this person, this big of international company, would will only send the product to, let's say, our storage in Miami, our provider logistical service company in Miami, and we will get in charge of all the shipping from the United States to Peru. But what I would really recommend is for you to call. You can call in here, or you can call here to the number that HP gave us. So it is there if you can talk, because if you send an email, it's most likely that they will say no, we cannot sell to you. You have to go to your supplier. But if we call them, there's a higher chance of us to convince them to sell to us. So try to call them, do an effort and try to call them. Okay, so that will be a way of how to on how to find a product that we are already interested in, that we already have in mind the product, we had the part number, all the information, the specifications, and we just went to Google, we checked for the part number in Google, the product that is case was a keyboard, the brand, and we just start to look around, check uh, online sales like Amazon, eBay, Best Buy, um, those kind of micro center could be another one for technological products. Um, just those online services, online pages that sell products. But if we are not able to find one, like this case, what we could do is go to the next step and go to the, in this case, to the manufacturer. Even though it is a large company, we go to the manufacturer and try to find an authorized dealer. In this case, you see how we find how we found an authorized dealer in the United States. So we had all the information, his address, his telephone number, and his web page. So we could check and just give him or her, give this company a call and ask them to be a work supplier. That would be an option. Now, if we are not able to find a supplier there, on the as a last resort, we will be we will just need to go to the Peruvian supplier. But let's remember to keep that as a last resort. Even though always ask for a quote to the Peruvian supplier so you can check, because sometimes it's going to be way cheaper to import the boat, but there are going to be um, another let's say for another kind of roads, or just another kind of special cases that is going to be cheaper to buy from the, in this case, the supplier in here in Peru. So it is just a matter of compare. Okay. Now, finally, I want to leave you all the references from here, from today's class. You can check them in there. And I want to thank you for your attention. I'm going to give you now the link for the exam. Remember that on this link you will find the questions for the exam and also some questions for you to let us know how the class was. Remember that I recommend to you to check again on your virtual classroom the material and the video so you can be a little more prepared to take the exam. And again, finally, I want to thank you for your attention. Today we saw session 6. It was how to choose the best supplier, how to choose a supplier. and your teacher Liliana Quipuzco. I hope that you have a nice weekend and I hope to see you next week. Okay? Take care. Bye bye.